Yo, welcome to your favorite YouTube channel, Vibes with MDB. Today I'm going to be dissecting Premier League Match Day 5 results, a couple of games in La Liga involving the Big Three, and also one of the biggest derby in football, the Milan Derby. Let's go. I'll be starting this video talking about Match Day 5 Premier League results. Let's go. There was a couple of great games over the weekend. So excited to have Premier League back. So excited to have football back after the 2 weeks international break, and the match day 5 Premier League games kick-started with Liverpool away to the Molineux to face Wolves. It was a typical 12:30 kickoff for Liverpool for the past 5 seasons. In the past 5 times they've played at 12:30 kickoffs, they failed to win the game, and they failed to win the game by the last 5 times they've played at 12:30 kickoffs. And of course, Jurgen Klopp was fiery in his press conference leading into the game. Of course, he was trying to clear the narrative of him always moaning about games kicking off at 12:30, and about them playing at 12:30 kickoffs, especially when they are coming back from an international break. And in his press conference, he was trying so hard not to complain about it, but you could see that indirectly he was still complaining about it. Wolves started the game very well. They should have been 2 or 3 goals ahead in the first half. Matheus Cunha was great, but actually missed a couple of presentable chances to actually put the game beyond Liverpool. Bellegarde was immense in the midfield. João Santos was great as well. Pedro Neto was actually inspiring. He was the one who created the first goal. A lovely dribble, a lovely dribble pass, Joe Gomez and Joe Marti before putting the ball in for Awin Chan. It was a great play all around, and they should have been ahead considerably in the first half, but they went to the break 1-0 ahead, which gave Liverpool the opportunity and Jurgen Klopp the opportunity to make some changes into the attack, and we saw in the second half with Liverpool's strength in depth when it comes to attacking players, and they were able to put the ball to game beyond the reach of Wolves. It wasn't the best of the best performance for Liverpool. It was like their performance against Newcastle away, where they dig deep at times in the game, but at the end of the day, like big teams or like teams who have the potential to become champions do, they actually found a way to win the game, and in the end they won convincingly. Mohamed Salah was running the show. It could have been 3 assists, but he had 2 assists because Aviala's supposedly third goal was ruled out for was given as offside. If not, Mohamed Salah would have had 3 assists. Robert and the Robert team with also a crucial goal. All in all, was a brilliant game for Liverpool. Gakpo as well getting on the score sheet with the equalizer in the beginning of the second half. It was a great game to welcome the Premier League season back from the international break. And of course, the other results this week didn't disappoint because there was goals galore, except in a couple of games whereby we saw the first 0-0 this season, which was the Bournemouth against Chelsea game. The Liverpool and Wolves game, there was goals, and Wolves will be disappointed that at least they didn't pick up a point in the game because they had a fantastic first half. But that was also another lesson, which shows that in football, you always, no matter how good you are, whenever you're on top, you always have to find a way to put the ball in the back of the net. Moving on from the Wolves and Liverpool game, let me touch on the Manchester United against Brighton. It was Man United against Brighton at Old Trafford. Brighton always loves to play against Man United. They were the last Premier League team to win at Old Trafford last season. And Man United actually carried that record into this season. They've been unbeaten in their last 20-something games at Old Trafford. So coming in this weekend facing Brighton, the team that was the last team to beat them at the Old Trafford. Coming into this weekend, I was expecting Manchester United to try to pick up from their performance against Arsenal. Even though they lost, you could see they played so well. They played some amazing football, and you could see like their form was gradually, or their performance was gradually starting to improve. But little did we know that actually the performance against Arsenal was just one out of many bad performances that Man United is going to exhibit this season. The game against Brighton, it was one-sided. At least, I think for the first 20 minutes, Manchester United was actually on top. They created chances. Marcus Rashford was always played in behind. He had a shot that came off the crossbar. Was a very good performance from them in the first 20 minutes. They have Erasmus Oyland starting his first game for the club. He was holding on play. He was bringing Rashford, Bruno Fernandes into the game, and Eriksen into the game, which is back to goal play. But at the end of the day, after the 20-minute mark, Brighton actually started to feel comfortable. They started to pass the ball around. What a job Roberto Di Zerbi has done since he got to the Premier. What a job he has done. The way they attack, the ferocity in which they attack, and the confidence in which they play the passes. Their passes are always crisp. No matter where they are, they're always comfortable to pass the ball around. They don't always seem to be under any pressure. Every time they play, they always feels like they have more time on the ball. They always feel like more. They always feel like they have more time on the ball than they actually do. The crispness in their passing, the way they are able to mix it with short and long passes, they can actually come behind and they can actually run behind defense, and they actually can play through defense as well. They don't have issues playing through the low blocks, and also they don't have issue trying to hit on the counter as well. It is a team that has the whole package. And coming into this game, they actually made six changes from the team that actually defeated Newcastle. They made six changes. Welcome to Old Trafford and still dealt with Manchester United. Was brilliant. Was a brilliant goal. Apart from the first 20 minutes and the first time where Manchester United were actually ran them ragged. Apart from that one, they controlled the game for the remaining 78, 79 minutes was added time in the game. They were under no pressure, and they should have scored more in the second half. It was a brilliant goal from Danny Welbeck coming back to Old Trafford. The ground he knows where we're getting a goal. The second goal was brilliant from Pascal Gross. Apart from Mohamed Salah, Pascal Gross is one of top three players that have scored the most goals against Manchester United. He has 9 in 13 games, which is crazy, which is a crazy record to have of goals against Manchester United. Go on the score sheet again. It was a brilliant finish from Pascal Gross. It was a controlled finish. It was similar to the first goal, with Tariq Lamptey getting into the box and whipping those balls in. And they could and should have scored more. And Fati should definitely have scored when he came on from the bench. João Pedro actually got in on the score sheet as well, coming off from the bench. It was a fantastic performance from Brighton. It's something, the greatness of Brighton right now, or the levels that Roberto Di Zerbi has taken them to, is nobody's actually surprised that they came to Old Trafford and they picked up the victory. And when you have Barcelona's supposed number 10 coming off your bench, then you know you are doing the right thing. So Brighton actually, they are one of the contenders. I know it's crazy to say, but they are actually one of the contenders for the Premier League right now, because they've actually beaten the two teams that finished in the top 4 in their last 2 games, and they've beaten them convincingly. So this Brighton is a team that we should all look out for, and they have the squad in depth. This is a team that everybody is talking about. They might actually fall off due to their Europa League commitment, but the fact that they could make 6 changes at Old Trafford and still win the game conveniently shows that they will not be having those kind of issues this season. Moving on from Manchester United and their woes to Manchester City against West Ham. It was also a very good game. It was a game where Manchester City created 30 chances away from home in the Premier League, which is outstanding. It shows why Manchester City are who they are. It shows why they've been dominating the league for a very long time. It shows why they've won the league 3 times in a row. It shows why they are the defending champions in Europe. It shows why they are the treble winners, and it shows why they might actually repeat what they've done last season this season again. It wasn't the best of games for Erling Haaland. Missed a couple of great chances, which all but confirms that he's human after all. West Ham took the lead through James Ward-Prowse, who is proving to be one of the signing of the season so far. He has chipped in with goals, chipped in with assists so far for this in this West Ham team. They actually hit Manchester City on the counter, got the goal, they were ahead. But on the second half, we saw a different Manchester City. Maybe not a different per se. Pep Guardiola was back on on the sideline, but we saw a clinical Manchester City. Jeremy Doku getting on the score sheet in his first goal for Manchester City in the second game for the team. We saw Bernardo Silva coming up with the go-ahead goal, and Erling Haaland finally getting on the score sheet. Also, it was just a normal day inside. It was just a normal day in office for Manchester City. Normal services resumed with Pep Guardiola back on the touchline, and of course, nobody's surprised that Manchester City picked up the victory against West Ham. It was also another convincing performance. A stroll in the park, and for them, and of course they still maintain their 100% perfect record to the start of the season, and they are flying, and I don't think nobody can stop them right now. Moving on from Manchester City, Tottenham against Sheffield United. This has to be one of the contenders for game of the weekend. It was a game everybody was expecting Tottenham to win comfortably based on the form they've showed so far this season. But it was a game, like I said, there's never an easy game in the Premier League. It was a game that was actually in favour of Sheffield United, with 12 minutes remaining on the clock when Armour scored the goal. It was a beautiful goal from a set piece. And Tottenham were actually facing a defeat in their house, after a few days after Ange Postecoglou and James Maddison were named Player and Coach of the Month for the month of August, respectively. But actually, with Tottenham under Ange Postecoglou, they've always shown to find a way where there seems to be no way, and he continued. What a fantastic goal from Richarlison, a goal that will boost his confidence. The player has gone through a lot of bad times this season. A player that actually confirmed during the national break that once he's back in London, he wants to go see a psychologist, and so it's fantastic for me to. It's fantastic for him to get on the score sheet, and to also create the assist for Kulusevski. Those goals coming in the 97 and 97 and 99 minutes. It showed their ability they had to dig in deep, to turn a scenario whereby they had 0 points into 3 points, and they are flying high in the season in the Premier League so far. I know why. I know wonder they are part of the top four currently. Moving on from Tottenham as well, we have to talk about Arsenal against Everton. This was a tough game for Arsenal. In the last 5 seasons, they've been unable to pick up the victory at Everton. It was a game where they had to dig in deep in a bogey ground against an Everton that is actually bouncing because they just completed the takeover of Everton from a company, the American company named 777, just completed the takeover of Everton from Fad Mashiri. The club were in a good mood. The fans were in buoyant mood. Everybody was bouncing around, and they actually dig in deep. They defended so well, created a couple of chances. They had presentable chances where they could have also put the ball in the back of the net. But Arsenal showed why they are my pick to be the closest challenger to Manchester City this season again. They digged in deep, created chances. Martinelli's goal was rightfully ruled out for offside, but after that they still created a couple of chances. Declan Rice is also proving to be one of the signs of the summer so far. Defended the game, controlled the tempo of the game, broke Everton's play, and then actually kickstarted Arsenal's attack as well. And it was also David Zaya debut in goal for Arsenal. Did very well. It showed why Arsenal spent that amount of money on him. It shows why they have two top goalkeepers. He was able to pass the ball around, make couple of saves as well where needed. It was a flawless performance from David Raya. And Arsenal don't care about the performance. What they care about is they were able to secure the 3 point courtesy of a beautiful goal from Leandro Trossard, and for them to be able to break the jinx of the Goodison Park in recent seasons. And I'm very sure all they care about is the 3 points, and they are marching on. Also, moving on from the Arsenal against Everton game, going to quickly touch upon a new Nottingham Forest against Burnley. A game ended one goal apiece. Callum Hudson-Odoi getting on the score sheet on his Nottingham Forest debut. It was a very beautiful game. Maybe not the best you will see for the weekend, but it was a game of highs and lows, and it was a game. That I think the result 1-1 was the fair result at the end of the game. It was a balanced game throughout. I was nice to see Nottingham Forest showing out a balanced team. They finally now have a good team around. You could see quality and experience in their team, and it was Burnley as well. It was great for them to pick up their first points of the season, and after they've had a very tough start to the start of the season, so it was great for them to pick up their first point of the season, and of course they keep on marching on. Moving on from the game from Nottingham Forest against Burnley, Newcastle as well also picked up a much needed victory against Brentford. It wasn't the best of games. Newcastle winning the game through a Callum Wilson penalty. This midweek is a very important midweek for Newcastle because they play their first Champions League game for the first time in over 20 something years. And the Geordies and everybody involved in the Magpies are so excited and they are looking forward to going to the San Siro to play against AC Milan. Then moving on from the Premier League, also the big three in La Liga were involved in games this weekend. And then Madrid losing to a struggling Valencia team 3-0. Just shows why Real Madrid are one of the most unreliable teams in La Liga. They started the season so well, winning games, scoring a lot of goals, but ending up going to Mestalla at the stadium whereby they've not lost in their last 4 visits, and going there and virtually collapsing, losing 3-0. Go draw with a couple of goals for Valencia, and them just playing Atletico Madrid out of the park. Then moving on from that, Barcelona put in a 5-star performance against Betis. This is a Real Betis team that's also started the season so well. But Barca is showing that they are actually moving from strength to strength. The fact that they started the season sluggishly, and they've picked up in their zip and their performances as the season progresses. Another 5-star performance from Barcelona. Lewandowski getting on the score sheet. João Felix getting on the score sheet. Another new boy also, João Cancelo, getting on the score sheet. Ferran Torres scoring as well. This is a Barca team that they are playing fantastic football, and they are actually in form. They are picking up form at the right time, and I've been seeing some tweets on Twitter which that is trending, which is pray for Royal Antwerp, and might possibly be needing to pray for Royal Antwerp because Barca are actually in a very great vein of form right now, and they are scoring goals and winning games. Moving on from Barcelona, of course, the game of the weekend in La Liga, Real Sociedad against Real Madrid at the new Santiago Bernabeu Stadium. Real Sociedad started the game like an house on fire. Takefusa Kubo was on fire in the first half. Benatia with the goal, but the first half was all about Takefusa Kubo. He should have actually gotten a goal, a beautiful strike which was ruled out for offside. He ran the show, he ran Real Madrid ragged, he ran Fangasia ragged in the first half, but in the second half it was all about Real Madrid's experience of never saying never, of always digging deep, and they actually turned the game on its head, finally winning the game 2-1. Fred Valverde with a brilliant strike, and Oselu with the winning goal. Jude Bellingham had the opportunity to put the game out of the reach of Real Sociedad in the 9 minutes of the game, but Ramiro produced a brilliant save, and Real Madrid continued their 100% winning start to the season, and they continue to show that without Vinny Jr. they can win games, and without a top out and out number 9, they can still find ways to pick up victories. Moving on from La Liga's big three, let me talk about the biggest game, arguably the biggest game in Europe this week, the Milan derby. Inter against AC Milan. This was one of the most one-sided derbies I've seen in recent times. Inter Milan has had AC Milan's number. They've been beating AC Milan. The 4 times they faced last season, they won the 4 ties against AC Milan, even including the Champions League semi-final. And Inter just continued from right where they stopped this season. It was new Inter, new AC Milan, but still the same Inter Milan when it comes to defeating AC Milan. It was a 5-star performance, beating AC Milan 5-1. It was 5 from the start. Inter Milan looked superior to AC Milan. Brilliant goal from Marcus Thuram, one of the best goals you will see this weekend. Cutting in and hitting the ball into the top corner beyond Mike Mignon. It was a great game. Çalhanoğlu getting onto the score sheet against his former team. Mkhitaryan getting a couple of goals. Fratesi as well scoring his first goal for Inter Milan. Rafa Leao of course, getting on the score sheet for AC Milan, but it wasn't. It was just a mere consolation, as Inter just proved that they were the better side and just played AC Milan out of the park.